You've left us a message wanting to speak to someone about a court procedure.
Yes, I was looking to inquire about that.
Is it a good time to talk?
Yeah, I'm just sorting some paperwork out.
So how can I assist you?
Give me 1 sec. I'll just find the piece of paper because I've got a set of notes here. It was just with regard to how a court's normally run, because I had some concerns regarding a local court and the way they ran a matter. Well, I guess, where the hell is it gone? Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was just some general information as to how you guys run the court proceedings, and to ask if some behaviour by the magistrate was normal. Like, there was a matter raised at court, and when a matter's struck, what does that mean when they order that a matter be struck in court?
I'm not quite sure. So what we do, Stuart, is if you have a concern about a magistrate behaviour, like you said, then that could possibly be something that we can investigate on. But if it's a decisions, so let's say if he wants to dismiss it or I don't know what struck out means really. If he wants to struck out, meaning possibly that he wants to hear no further, which is his decision to have the matter dismissed. And I'm not quite sure if, and don't quote me, I'm not quite sure whether striking out means I'm not going to hear it anymore, to just no more court hearing.
What does that do with regards to the matter, given it's been brought to court and heard in court, if it's struck out within the court hearing?
So it depends whether you want to, if you might have to get some legal advice on that. Like if the legal advice tells you that striking out a matter from court means to completely remove it from court, no further hearing or mention. If you want to appeal that decision, then you would have to go through the legal channel to appeal the decision.
It's not so much about appealing the decision. I just find it odd that a matter was brought to court and he struck it out in the court, despite the fact I had said that it was a false charge. It was something the police said they were adding weight to their case when I tried to speak to them. Now, he chose to follow through on this matter, and then when he discovered that the officer couldn't piece his story together, he had the matter struck. After trying to assist the officer with his statement, because the officer left a number of holes where he couldn't answer for himself, and then the officer was proven wrong. So I guess when a matter was brought to court, it would either come out as guilty or not guilty, and for him to strike that matter out, what does that mean in consequence of the records, etc.? Because does it mean it's on the court records, or would that have been removed?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You would have to call the legal aid or your legal service, legal representative. I'm not legally trained. We can only investigate complaints about the magistrate conduct, like a behaviour-wise.
Well, sorry, I guess, is there anyone I can speak to that has an understanding of how the court works? Because I've read your website, and it says that, you obviously don't like frivolous complaints coming forward. I think it's pretty serious what happened, but I want to confirm if it's a complaint worth bringing forward, or if I'm just going to get run around in circles for you guys to say you can't do anything.
This is a legal advice that you're seeking, which we will not be able to give a legal advice.
It's not about legal advice. It's about how a court.
You're asking me about what does that actually mean, and whether the recording of the matter will be recorded or will be deleted or will be remains, which is a legal question. I can't tell you. None of us in the Judicial Commission will be able to answer you that question. It's a legal advice.
Well, then where do you get that answer? Because the lawyers don't seem to have an answer for it because it depends on the court. So I guess I came to the Judicial Commission because this is a judicial officer that's taken the action.
Which court?
This is Sale Magistrates Court.
Sale? Okay. Give Sale Magistrate a call to say, hey, you had a hearing on this particular date, and the magistrate actually said the matter has been struck out. What does that mean? Was there any legal, charging recorded, or whether it was deleted? Was it actually, what happened to it? Because they would be the ones who would have the record in front of them explaining to you what it actually means.
Well, I've written to the courts asking to discuss this, and they've refused to answer back. So this is what I mean. There's a slight problem here. That's why I've come to you guys to go, is this normal?
We won't be able to give that. No, we won't be able to give that. Unless you can actually speak to a solicitor and ask him to subpoena the court documents. He can subpoena documents from court, then he will know what it actually means.
So to get a bit of information, I've got to hire a solicitor, technically.
It's a legal advice that we can't tell you, unfortunately.
I wouldn't have said it's legal advice. I'm asking you why the court would make that decision if that's in line. You guys supposedly investigate judges.
Our jurisdiction does not give us the power to explain to you what it means by a magistrate, that particular magistrate, striking your matter out.
It's not just that. It revolves around a lot of other conduct, but that's one of the main issues I have, is that he tried to assist the police prosecution. From what I know, they're not supposed to be biased. And then when he found out the police were lying, he had the matter struck. That's why I was coming to you guys to go, is that normal behaviour?
Striking a matter out is not a behaviour. Striking a matter out is a decision that he made. Whatever the decision actually means, I can't tell you. None of us in the judicial is able to tell you.
Okay.
It is a legal question.
Oh, it's just speaking to the Attorney General's office. They've suggested that I should speak to you. So it's like I said, I guess, just going around in circles.
We are definitely not the right. We're definitely not in the right service, to provide you with legal advice. And I'm sorry that they've given you this wrong information.
I'm not asking... Sorry, you seem to be misunderstanding. I'm not asking for legal advice. I'm asking...
This particular question you're asking is a legal advice. I can't tell you. No one in the Judicial Commission can tell you what it actually means.
What do you deal with in the way of complaints then regarding magistrates?
One now. Okay, just hang on 1 second. My son is in the background. Sorry. So what we do?
Sorry, what was your name again?
Josephine.
Josephine, okay. It's just, I guess, you guys are there for complaints to be lodged against magistrates. I'm just trying to find out, is that a sort of normal action for a magistrate to take, and is that acceptable?
What I explained to you is striking a matter out. I'm not sure what the legal term is, okay? But striking a matter out is a decision. It's a decision that he chose to make after he heard from the police, from yourself, that the matter was made falsely or it was inaccurate. So he decided to strike the matter out. I just Googled for you that striking a matter out of court basically means that to delete from the court.
Yeah, which would mean there'd be no record of it going to court either.
But I don't know that. I'm not the court. No one from the judicial would have your record. You would have to contact the court yourself or get a solicitor to subpoena the court documents about your matter. It's not a complaint about the judge has actually perhaps verbally said to you that was inappropriate, or an action that he did to you was inappropriate.
He basically assisted the police the whole way, but I haven't lodged a complaint through you guys because I've already been discussing this through IBAC, and then it went through to the Vic Inspectorate. And I'm just really gathering stuff to go together because I want to have a chat with someone from the Office of the Attorney General, because I think it's a big mess how it's all set up and there's no one to watch over what the magistrates do. He openly assisted the police in court and then had the matter removed from the record. And he's allowed to do that.
It's not a behaviour. It is not a behaviour.
Well, it tends to be with this particular magistrate. He likes suppressing evidence. I've read a few articles on it.
You can definitely put in a complaint about this magistrate, striking the matter out and other stuff that he did that you are concerning about. But when we actually go through the complaint and if we need to seek the recordings or whatever of the files, and if we found that the complaints are not a conduct issue or a capacity issue, then we will just basically be saying to you it's going to be dismissed. So I just want to be transparent with you that based on what you're telling me, that it seems like it's a decision that he chose to make to strike out your matter at court for whatever reason, whether he thought it was wrong, he thought it was right, whatever that decision was, he made a decision to have the records deleted, erased, changed, or whatever way it is, that we won't have the ability to change his decisions or change the way he struck out the court matter.
Well, obviously you can't change what he's done if he had evidence deleted from the court record. You
can appeal the decision, which again is a legal process. But I'm telling you what we can do and what we can't do, and I just want to be upfront because at the end of the day, I don't want you to be sitting around for 3 months or longer, putting in a complaint, and then it takes about 3 to 6 months for us to come back to you, and most likely the complaint you're actually raising with me is going to be dismissed.
I've seen them dismiss a lot worse than this, so yeah.
Okay. You can put it in, like I
think
said,
it's pathetic, but
at the end of the day, I want you to get to the right place of where you should be actually getting the information, which is a legal advice, which
or Google.
You can Google. I just Googled.
Well, the funny bit is I get that many legal professionals if I bring up anything from Google that sneer and snarm at me, but yet you just Googled something and you're from the Judicial Commission. So I find it irony. I guess if I had a degree, people would take me more seriously. But yeah, in all honesty, the magistrate behaved poorly in court. I've been told I should lodge a complaint, but I've sat there, I've read through your statements, and it would be no different to going through IBAC or the Vic Inspectorate, where your office can basically choose to turn around and make zero decision and take no action if it wishes. It seems to be a running loophole between departments. I've become well schooled on this over the last few years. I found it interesting, honestly.
But I had advised you to seek legal advice or to get subpoena documents from the court. I can't tell you that because the court has your records. We don't.
Oh, I know the court have claimed that they've got the recordings of court there, but I'm trying to check what are they obligated to keep and what wouldn't they be obligated to keep. But then when I've asked the court, they seem to be ignoring me, giving me the most basic responses.
But you are entitled to your own file.
Do I, with that as well, who do I speak to regarding, they're trying to charge me fees for court records regarding a current case, and it's required for evidence. So in your comment before, you've said basically I need to go to a solicitor. So the whole system's set up that I've got to try and find money to fight this to get the right thing done.
Do you think you're eligible to legal aid?
I've been talking to legal aid previously, and I'm talking to him again, and I'm just taking documentation of the same circle that I'm being run around in. Like I said, this is why I'm speaking to the Attorney General. I've already had Jill Hennessy try and dodge this for 3 years till she retired, and now this morning I was trying to speak to Jacqueline Symes, but everybody's on answer phones at the minute, unfortunately.
Yep, I'm giving you a call back because everyone...
No, I appreciate that. You're actually the only one that's called back today, so...
But at the same time, I just want to be frank and be concerned
Yep.
with you that...
No, that's okay. I understand. So you're not the place to speak to, so
No.
I'll have to find out answers somewhere else.
But I have suggested you advise to subpoena court documents or apply for your own court file, which if they need to charge money, again, it's what they need. We don't have to say why they should be charging or why they shouldn't be charging.
There's normally a waiver for someone with no income. It's just I've been left pretty much homeless, unable to work because of the decisions of the magistrate, and I just find it funny that in the space of 6 months, I asked the police officer a question. I asked him what the breatho reading on a device was. The officer refused to provide that, then drove off, and I got charged with refusing to go to a police station. A whole heap got escalated on top of that, but for that I got sentenced to 3 months jail, and then 6 months later the same magistrate, a guy on a drunken rampage, punched someone in the back of the head, yet there's a big speech about how he couldn't send him to jail. So I don't see that as a very ethical approach when he's executing his duty. I ask a question, 3 months jail, guy punches other guy in the back of the head while he's not looking, and he sits there carrying on that he wishes he could send the guy to jail, but he needs to give him a chance to rehabilitate. That makes no sense to me. But no, thank you. I've already sort of looked in, and subpoena is something I've been looking into. It's just I've got a warrant on me, so it's kind of hard for me to do anything with relation to that. I'd need a solicitor, and then it ends up costing money. So
the legal aid would be probably your best bet, given that if you are homeless, and I would imagine that you've got like limited income, that they probably will be able to take your matter on, and then you can see all those advice, like getting the court subpoenaed, what the normal behaviour is, or what does it actually mean to strike out the court, and what it actually means now, etc.
I'll speak to, I'll continue what I'm doing with legal aid, but I know they're not going to actually do anything. They'll just tell me plead guilty and everything else and let it all go away. That's pretty much the way they react. I've dealt with legal aid before. They're useless. So I'm speaking to the advice department of them, and like I said, I'm just taking notes. This is something for other people to see how the whole system works, that no one's really actually accountable for their decisions. But no, thank you for your call, Josephine.
That's okay. Thanks, Stuart.
You have a good afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.